As I mentioned, it would be nice for everyone to introduce themselves. I know that many of you know one another, but just in case there's someone here who's new, who doesn't. So let's start with, I'm gonna just go the way my screen is at the top. Start with Kathy Latovsky.
Hi, Kathy Latovsky. I'm here in Bethlehem in Knowings Mills. I am the immediate past president until June 30th, and then I become the past president. All good.
And for the benefit of everyone here, Kathy and I were region presidents together. So, Charlotte.
Hi, I'm Charlotte Strauss. I'm co-president of Kilat Shalom in Gaithersburg, of our sisterhood there. Hi, everybody.
Barbara.
Hi, I'm Barbara Finkel, and I am the incoming region president, as I hope everybody knows, but I don't know. Welcome.
Lynn.
I'm Lynn Sandberg, and I'm co-president at Beth Meyer Synagogue in Raleigh, North Carolina, and incoming recording secretary for Women's League, Seaboard Branch.
Great. Gail. You're muted.
I am the new co-president of Bethel Synagogue in Pikesville.
Marcia.
Marcia Lawson, Agudas Achim.
Sue.
Oh,
Sue
Alexandria Agudas Achim.
Sue.
Alexandria, VA.
Thank you. Sue.
Sue Tappet.
Okay.
I'm at B'nai Israel in Rockville. I'm the Torah Fund president and a past region president.
Ellen.
Hi, I'm Ellen Weiss. I'm from Chezek Emunah, and I'm the incoming Torah Fund VP and immediate past president of Chezek Emunah.
Julianne.
Julianne Goldman. I'm co-president at B'nai Israel in Rockville, going in my 5th year. We're hoping that changes.
Bobby.
Hi, I'm glad I'm not president or past president, but I'm from Tikvat Israel in Rockville, Maryland. Sorry, it's a little shadowy. I'm at the window, and that just happens. So you get to see like a shadow, but it's me, Bobby Corbin, and on the Seaboard region, I'm Judaic Arts Chair, and I think I was just appointed to the board of directors, and I guess that's just a a position to support the board, and I'm happy to join the board for another round.
Edith.
Hi, I'm Edith Magruder, president of Kol Shalom Annapolis and outgoing financial secretary.
Stacy.
I'm Stacy Zuckerman. I'm a past sister president of Agudas Achim. I'm now the incoming Seaboard Region Communications VP.
Susan Crystal.
Hi, I'm Sue Crystal. I am the current president of Chezek Emunah Sisterhood.
Elisa.
Hi.
Which Lisa would you like?
Let's do
You've got
Elisa
two.
Abrams first.
Okay.
Yeah, that's me. I'm Elisa Abrams. I'm a past president of Addis Israel in Washington, D.C., and a former Seaboard Region board member, and a former Women's League Public Policy Committee member, and the Women's League liaison long time ago to the Commission on the Jewish Coalition on Environment and Jewish Life, and I will be the incoming sustainability chair for the region.
Very nice. Tina.
Tina Asher from Adachim Synagogue in Owings Mills and Sisterhood president.
Shoshana.
Hi, everyone. I'm Shoshana Marziano. I'm from Newport News, Virginia. It's somewhere between Virginia Beach and Williamsburg, if those names are a little bit more familiar to you. I am part of what we call our Sisterhood Coordinating Committee. So we have a group of us that take on the president job. I don't know why we're doing that, but we kind of got stuck in this weird thing. So I'm part of that group, and I'm the one that usually represents us in, region meetings, etc. Happy to be here.
Okay, Alyssa Barpal, it's your turn.
Thank you. I'm the incoming president for Addis Israel in Washington. Nice to be here.
Geraldine.
Hello, everyone. Okay, I am similar to Shoshana in that we have a steering committee, but generally I do the region and other above stuff, so you can contact me or Linda Eisenberg, but usually that's what I do. And I'm also incoming VP for membership, and I serve as on the Women's League Cares for our Women's League of nationally, international, you know what I mean. Okay.
Dixie?
Oh, I get nervous.
Hi, everyone. Dixie Laycock. I'm past president of Hizikamuna Sisterhood, current co-chair of the Hizikamuna Sisterhood Judaica Shop, and board Judaica liaison. So, well, thank you for having me.
Jill?
Hi, I am with Addis Israel in Washington, D.C. I'm a past president, and I am the Seaboard region incoming treasurer.
And Myra?
Hi, I don't know how to get my picture on. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Oh, great. Okay. We lost our electricity. I'm Myra Promisel, and I'm the incoming parliamentarian, and I am a past member of the Women's League Executive Committee.
Thank you. So it's wonderful to be with so many leaders, past sisterhood presidents, past region leaders, current region leaders, current sisterhood presidents, women with positions on the Women's League International Board. It's wonderful that you've accepted these responsibilities, and I wish all of you Yasher Koach as you move forward. So having said that, I'm now going to share my screen.
Well, who are you?
Oh, who am I? That's a good question. I'm Anise Parnes. I am the Women's League Consulting Services Vice Chair, and I have been the Seaboard Region Conference Consultant. And I worked with the conference planning team. Prior to conference, I came and visited the region for conference, and I am doing the post-conference follow-up with Zoom on Tuesday, which was for sisterhood presidents, and this Zoom for region board orientation, which includes sisterhood presidents and a number of other ex officio members to the board. Thank you for reminding me, Jeremy. So let's get started. Ups. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes. Yes.
Excellent. Okay, so we had a welcome, and now I'm going to give you an overview of what we're going to talk about tonight. We had the introduction. We're going to talk about the Women's League universe. We're going to talk about the purpose of the region and the region board structure. We're going to talk about the responsibilities of a region board member. We're going to just briefly look at resources that are available. We're going to talk about leadership. We're going to talk about teamwork. We're going to talk about identifying future leaders, and we're going to end up at setting goals. So let's talk about the Women's League universe. just to make sure everybody understands the overall structure. Imagine the solar system with Women's League being like the sun, with planets planets orbiting around it. Each region would be like a planet, and some planets have moons, and you can consider sisterhood affiliates to be the equivalent of moons. So every organization should have a mission. Women's League has a mission. Its mission is to strengthen and unite synagogue women's groups, their members and individual members, to support them in mutual efforts to understand and perpetuate conservative Masorti Judaism in the home, the synagogue, and the community, and to reinforce bonds with Israel and Jews worldwide. Your region also has a mission. And the mission, which is in your bylaws, and everyone should have a copy of the bylaws. And if you don't, ask Barbara for a copy of the bylaws, or ask Myra, your parliamentarian, for a copy of the bylaws. The mission of the region is to serve as a connection between Women's League International and its affiliates and members, and to provide services to strengthen our affiliates. It's to advise members on proposed plans, policies, and other matters referred to the region by the League's Board of Directors. So we already had a taste of this a few minutes ago. There are 3 levels, as I showed with the solar system picture: international, region, and sisterhood affiliates. The proper term for Women's League International is international, not national. Let's remember that we have sisters in Canada, we have sisters in Israel, we have sisters in other parts of the world as well. Maybe not as formally, but as a consequence, we are an international organization. The proper term for Seaboard region is region, not regional. The current term for sisterhoods is sisterhood affiliate, not sisterhood. And the proper term for the executive leadership team of the region is executive committee, not executive board. So as a leader of Women's League, there are certain standards, and I think everybody here is familiar with them, but just in case, let's review them. Observing Shabbat and Yom Tovim, attending synagogue, giving tzedakah, observing kashrut, participating in Jewish study, and supporting Israel. There are a couple of other things that aren't on this screen, but are certainly relevant to being a region leader. One is supporting Torah Fund to the best of your ability, and the other is wearing a Torah Fund pin. And wearing a Torah Fund pin at region meetings, sisterhood affiliate meetings, at synagogue services. It's nice to show that you are supporting Torah Fund, and that's the beauty of a Torah Fund pin. So are there any questions at this point? Is everything pretty clear? Yeah? Okay. So let's move on. Why do Women's League regions exist? The purpose of the region is to serve as a connection between Women's League International and its affiliates and members, and to provide services to strengthen our affiliates. Connection and services, 2 very key words. And there's a third purpose as well: to identify and mentor future leaders for the region and for Women's League International. We're going to come back to this in a minute, but I'm going to move on to the board structure. Now, I was working from a slightly older list when I prepared this. And so I have a section here that's below this break because I didn't know if these positions had been filled. And similarly, I wasn't exactly certain. I could take some guesses of who reports where, but you should know if you are a non-executive committee position, you should know which vice president you report to. As you can see from this structure, vice presidents report to the president, the treasurer reports to the president, the secretaries report to the president, the parliamentarian reports to the president, and in this chain of command would fall the president and the immediate past president, who are members of your board as well. So, as I said, if you're not sure whom you report to, then you should talk to Barbara and the executive committee to make sure that you know where you belong. So since we just looked at the various titles, let's talk about job descriptions. According to the Seaboard Region bylaws, vice presidents are to assist the president in the management of the region and preside in her absence as designated by her. Be familiar with Women's League and region policy, supervise the activities of her portfolio, promote and share Women's League programs, and deliver all region materials that are part of her portfolio to her successor. So I'm hoping that those of you who are assuming new vice president positions have received or are about to receive portfolio materials from your predecessors. In today's world, remember, a lot of materials are digital. You don't have to have an in-person meeting. You can just forward digital files. So, as I just said, part of the job description is supervise the activities of her portfolio. What activities? So I decided to focus on one particular vice president portfolio, which is membership. In your bylaws, it's listed as membership and affiliate support VP. So what exactly does that involve? Well, it involves reaching out to sisterhood membership VPs or chairs, introducing yourself. You can do this by email, you can do this by phone, you can do this both ways. And I strongly recommend that you keep records of those conversations. You can very easily get confused as you're speaking from one sisterhood affiliate to another, whose situation is which. And if you keep a notebook or a loose leaf with a log and the conversations you're having, you can do it by, log of one, day or group of days that you do outreach, or if you want to do it by individual sisterhood, have a page and, keep track that way. It's really up to you what system is going to work best for you, but definitely make a point of keeping track of the conversations that you're having with affiliates. And it's also a good recommendation to keep track of the conversations that you're having with one another as well, outside of meetings where you're going to have official minute takers. Oh. So in these conversations, you might hear situations that would be considered red flags, would be challenges. So see if you can navigate it yourself. If it's something that's really serious that should be brought to the attention of Barbara, you should bring it to Barbara's attention. If it's something that you think the affiliate would benefit from working with consulting services, then reach out to consulting services. And then the other thing that you want to do is do some programming. It doesn't have to be a formal program. It could just be a topic that you think would be interesting, that would engage the affiliates within your region. You can do this 2 times a year, 3 times a year, 4 times a year. I know one of the regions does a quarterly Let's Talk series, and sometimes they have formal programs with PowerPoint presentation. Other times it's just let's get together and talk. But it's a great way to connect with the affiliates and to share your membership successes and to provide solutions for those who are having membership challenges. What are ideas for Zoom discussions? What's everyone doing for a paid up membership function this year? Maybe you want to collaborate with the region programming VP on coming up with some ideas that you could present to all the affiliates within the region on paid up membership programming. You can offer a joint workshop with your data manager and show affiliates how to update records in the Women's League database. You know, you might be very fluent with that, but not every affiliate is, and some need assistance with that. So you could offer a workshop on that. Maybe you'd like to collaborate with your financial secretary and talk about creative ways of collecting dues. Think outside the box, be creative. There's no one right answer here. You can do a whole bunch of things that will resonate with your membership. So here are resources that are available for you to learn more about your job and what else is going on within Women's League within your portfolio. So one of the things that you really want to do, and I mentioned this earlier, was receive materials from your predecessor and consult with your predecessor, especially as challenges arise. It's probably not the first time, and your predecessor's probably heard something very similar from the same sisterhood or a different sisterhood affiliate. So, you know, get the inside scoop from the last administration. Women's League has parallel vice presidents and portfolio chairs. So there is a membership team at the international level. Get to know those women. The chair also has Zoom meetings periodically. Attend those Zoom meetings. Do research on the Women's League website to find programming ideas, to find the materials that are available for membership. For instance, there is something called Blueprint for Membership. There's the Sisterhood Program Planner. There's Membership Magnets 1, 2, 3. There's a pamphlet on how to make free sisterhood membership profitable for everyone. So, you know, there are tools available on the website. They don't cost anything, and you can download them and you can become familiar with them. Look at Women's League Week. Everyone on the region board should be receiving Women's League Week and should be opening it and reading it and checking it for information about your portfolio and to see what else is going on throughout the organization. Remember, everyone on the region board is a cheerleader for Women's League International. And the best way to be that cheerleader is to be familiar with what Women's League is doing all the time. Upcoming programs that have already passed but are available as recordings, etc., etc. You should be reading your Seaboard region newsletter. You might want to write an article for your Seaboard region newsletter to reach out to membership VPs or chairs. Leadership training. Women's League offers leadership training via Zoom. There was a program this past spring very specifically on alternative leadership structures. And so, again, be familiar with what's there. And there'll be something about membership, I'm sure, coming up in the next year. Leadership Institute. Leadership Institute is wonderful for you to develop as an individual and for you to polish your leadership skills. So definitely consider going if you've never gone. Consider going a second time if you've been before. And remember Zoom technology. You can do a program via Zoom. You can ask for a Women's League link. I know Barbara has her own professional account. So between the two, you should be able to set up a Zoom program if you want to do a Zoom program with sisterhood affiliates on membership or in any other portfolio. If you want to do a Torah Fund program, if you want to do something about programming, again, reach out to your affiliates and offer them guidance. Any questions? No. Okay. So we looked at this before, but I'll show it again. What is the mission of the region? To connect with affiliates and provide services and identify future leaders. So what do we mean by connection? Phone calls, emails, Zoom meetings, personal visits, social media posts, Zoom meetings, Zoom workshops, region meetings, which could be in person or on Zoom, the region newsletter, mailings, the Women's League Week, region conference, which you just had. How else? I'm not going to answer that, and you don't have to answer that now. Just think about how can you connect with the women who are members of Seaboard region, and then do it. So how do you accomplish all of this? Staying within the role of the membership VP and how the membership VP will be reaching out to sisterhood affiliates. Let's talk about who's on the membership team, who reports to the membership VP or chair at the sisterhood level, and who do you report to? So let's start from the beginning. The role of membership is to recruit, reclaim, and retain new and continuing members. All sisterhood affiliate activities are membership activities. What does that mean? Membership is a never-ending activity. Every member of an affiliate is an ambassador for the sisterhood affiliate. So in speaking to the membership VPs or chairs, you want to guide them. You want to encourage them to have teams because, as we said, membership is about recruiting new members, retaining current members, and reclaiming past members. Membership is a team effort because not one person can do it all by herself. So who else could be part of the team? The financial secretary, the programming education chair. Who else? Greeters, financial secretary. If you have a phone tree chair or a phone tree manager, maybe a sisterhood's corresponding secretary, because the sisterhood affiliates reach out to those who aren't feeling well, those who are celebrating simchas. Well, this is how she can definitely reach them and acknowledge those moments in members' lives. And certainly the chair of a paid-up membership event, because the idea is to have the best paid-up membership event that you can have so that those who didn't renew when the membership letters went out will come to the event and renew their membership, so that those who maybe have a lapsed membership can be reclaimed. You definitely want to have the membership event chair as part of this team and plan with guidance, with collaboration with the membership VP or chair. Who does the vice president report to? The president. So what other positions interact with the membership chair or VP? Membership should have a handle on what motivates members to attend and what motivates members to step away. And the membership team needs to share what it hears with the president and the programming team so that programs are relevant and they meet the needs and interests of the members. What other positions would be following a similar kind of strategy? Well, wouldn't the Torah Fund VP find a moment to reach out to consulting services, perhaps? Would the literary arts and book chair contact sisterhood affiliates with information about books, certainly to promote Women's League reads, and perhaps the region's doing a book talk on the region basis. Would Israel Affairs Chair be contacting sisterhood affiliates? I would hope so. I'm not familiar, but is Seaboard Region currently paired with a Kehillah in Israel? Barbara?
I think we are, but we have not been in touch. We tried.
But that's something you're going to probably work on this coming year. So, even if you don't have an Israel Affairs Chair, someone will be reaching out to let affiliates know. Similarly with social action, Women's League has had social action initiatives. So the region's social action chair would want to reach out to sisterhood affiliate social action chairs. What about resolutions? Women's League just had a couple of Zoom programs specifically on resolutions. That's something that the region would want to promote to sisterhoods as well. So those are just a few possibilities of how your role, regardless of what your position is, what you're going to be reaching out about and why you're reaching out about to keep the affiliates connected and informed. Every position should interact with the others, not only to be more cohesive, but also because you are the leadership team. Any questions? No. Okay, let's move on. So let's talk for a minute about what is leadership, since we're talking about acting as leaders. The qualities of leadership are difficult to define, but they're not so difficult to identify. Leaders bring others along. They don't force other people to go along with them. Leaders demand much of others, but also demand equally of themselves. Good leaders aren't lone rangers. Doesn't that refer back to what we just said about a portfolio can't be managed solely by one person? Leaders know that when there are two options on an issue, one is not bound to be wrong. Leaders are good listeners who can provide answers as well as direction. And when they don't have the answer, they know how to find the answer. Leaders are flexible rather than dogmatic. Successful leaders are emotionally and intellectually oriented to the future, not wedded to the past. I'm sure we all have had experiences where there's been a board member who has said, well, that isn't how we've always done it. We always do it this way. Just keep that in mind. You're not always wedded to the past. Leadership is all about getting people consistently to give their best. A good leader, an effective leader, is one who is respectful and respected. So now that we've talked about leaders and we've talked about how leaders aren't lone rangers, let's talk about teamwork. What's the value of a team? The combined thinking of a group is more productive than that of an individual. The interest of members is maintained because they're involved in the work of the organization. Talents of members may be put to use and new talents discovered. Full leadership is developed. The work is divided among several members without overburdening any single team member. So before I go on teamwork, I want to also mention that while we use the word committee quite often, we're really talking about teams, and there's a distinct difference between committees and teams. Committees are composed of representatives of constituencies. Team members are all equal stakeholders. They're all committed to the importance of the project. They're all committed to the goal of the project. They know their responsibilities. They know the expectations and the requirements of them. They know why they're important to the project. and they know that they are part of the team and that they will receive support and guidance. It also means that when you make decisions, everyone is committed 100% to that decision, regardless of whether or not there was a majority vote versus a minority vote. Once the vote's taken, once the decision's made, everybody should be moving forward lockstep with what that decision is. Sometimes in this kind of work, there's someone who doesn't like what the decision is, and maybe a meeting or two later tries to manipulate the situation to go back to what her position was. That's not being a team player. Being a team player is knowing whatever your vote was, at this point, it's irrelevant. This is what the group decided, and you're committed to the success of the group. So the key to being successful is allowing every team member to do her job. So if someone's assigned a task, don't someone else come along and say, oh, I'll do that for you. Roles should be very clearly defined. Time should be controlled. Meetings should start on time and end on time. I always say time got cut off, so that the job can get done. Participants should come to the meetings prepared. Today's woman uses her time wisely, and it's necessary for the team should be prepared accordingly. Minutes should be taken during the meeting to ensure that ideas don't get lost. The meetings should be informal and relaxed. Everyone should listen and respect each other's opinion. Members shouldn't interrupt or talk over one another. And the team should periodically assess if they're moving forward in the right direction, or if because certain challenges have emerged that they need to reassess and reorient and set a different goal or change the direction of how they're going to accomplish the goal. And at the end of the team's work, there should be public recognition given and personal thank you notes sent. By providing a climate in which each team member can achieve her goals of self-improvement and personal growth, and a place where she can exercise her talents, she will perceive that working for the accomplishment of Women's League's objectives is instrumental to the accomplishment of her own individual objectives. Any questions? Okay. No? Okay. So earlier on, when we talked about connection and service, there was also reference to identifying future leaders. One of the things that you as region board members and region leaders want to do is be on the lookout for potential recruits for the future. Also for potential helpers as you're working on the projects that the region undertakes during this administration. So these are the things you want to keep in mind as you visit with sisterhood affiliates, or you have in-person region meetings and a number of members attend. Who's most responsive to your outreach? Who seems enthusiastic when you interact with her? When you visit a sisterhood, is there someone who really stands out and impresses you? Who makes a great presentation? Who's a good speech giver? Who is demonstrating good people skills? Who's always smiling? Who appears to be the queen bee and received by her peers? Once you've identified potential future leaders, watch that person or persons. See if she steps up and accepts new sisterhood leadership positions within her own affiliate. Invite her to be part of a region team. Match her skill set to the region's needs and what she does best. Start with a simple request. Don't go from, oh, you're a great fundraiser. Would you be the next Torah Fund VP for the region? Start with a simple request like being a greeter at a region event, or helping with mailing or development of an email campaign, expand the opportunities to giving a Devar Torah, or to introduce speakers at an event, to become a regular team member on one of the region teams, whether it's communications, Torah Fund, membership, programming. Maybe this member has a special area of interest that would be a wonderful Zoom program or in-person program that you could offer the region, and she could put it together and lead it. So any questions on that? Okay, so we've pretty much gone over most of the presentation that I have, which leads us to, again, appropriate leadership expectations. Be prompt, show up at meetings on time, be respectful, be discreet. Think about how you interact with everyone and be discreet. Be open to new and different ideas. Be knowledgeable about Women's League as well as the region. Be enthusiastic. Be responsible. Be kind. Be sisterly. Be generous in spirit and charity. Be appreciative of others. Be thankful. Be proud. And most importantly, be your word. Don't make promises that you are not able to fulfill. Questions? Okay, so we're now coming to the end here, ladies. Well, at least the end of the presentation, not necessarily questions. So I want to leave you with thoughts on an action plan. As team leaders and as a region, you should be setting a goal. What's your goal? And why is this a goal? Once you've identified what your goals are, what's previously been done or currently being done to achieve the goal, what challenges have been evident in the past, and how do you think that you can work around them or solve them so that you can achieve your goal moving forward? What information do you need to achieve your goal? What kind of time frame do you need for implementing your action plan? What resources do you need? Is it Women's League material? Is it money? Do you need a financial allocation because there are materials that you need to purchase on the outside? You know, think about all of those things because they're relevant to achieving goals. Who's going to be responsible for assuring that the goal is achieved? Who's going to be involved in this with you? What obstacles do you foresee might interfere with your plan? And define what you think success in achieving your goal will look like. So that concludes the formal presentation. Remember, we're all linked: sisterhood, region, and Women's League. And when we're all working together, we're better together. Questions? Okay, so this is my contact information. I want to thank all of you for coming. And if you want to take a screenshot, please do that, because I'd like to stop the screen share and see all of your faces. Okay. So, anyone have any questions? You're all very quiet. I know Tuesday night there were questions. Tonight there aren't any. I can't believe there are no questions. No?
Ellen has a question, and then I'll follow
Okay,
up.
Ellen.
Thank you, Geraldine. You mentioned the workshops. Are most of them recorded and on Women's League? So if we miss them?
Yes, most Women's League workshops are recorded to the cloud and then are posted to the website. One of the advantages of signing up for a workshop, even if you know you can't attend it, is, on the Women's League website, when you log into the members page, the very first box in the upper left-hand part of the grid is programs you registered for. So if you register for a program that you can't see, or you register for a program you want to watch it again, if you go to that box, you will have direct access to the recording there. You don't have to go fishing all over the Women's League website to find a link. You just go in that box and you'll see, it'll say, the recording for that Zoom is there. You're going to be the Torah Fund VP, correct? So the Torah, as you know, the Torah Fund VPs will be meeting once a month. And it's my expectation that those sessions will be recorded. And if you miss one of those monthly meetings, you should be able to access it on the website.